Good evening, everyone. My name is Jason R. Keaton, and tonight on Bird is the Word Network, I want to talk about why immigration law isn't just a political issue for me. It's personal. It's something I lived, something I witnessed, and something I believe is being twisted into something unconstitutional, un-American, and morally wrong. Before we begin, I encourage everyone watching to verify political information with trusted, nonpartisan sources. Democracy works best when we stay informed. I was in San Diego during the 2006 immigration rallies, one of the largest peaceful demonstrations in modern U.S. history. Some estimates placed attendance nationwide at over 1.5 million people, making it comparable in scale to the Million Man March. The energy, the unity, the sheer humanity of it changed me. Not long after, I ended up in Mexico myself. I had lost my job, my home, and my place in school because of extremist pressure. I crossed the border with nothing, and what I found shocked me. Despite political tension between the U.S. and Mexico at the time, ordinary people treated me with kindness. They helped me find shelter. They helped me get an apartment I could afford while I collected unemployment. They treated me like a human being. No paperwork required. That experience made me understand something deeply. Immigration isn't about us versus them. It's about people helping people survive. While living in Tijuana, I met a woman who changed my entire understanding of immigration law. She was adopted from Mexico at age 2. She grew up believing she was American. She had a driver's license. She paid taxes. She worked at an all-valley fitness center. She lived the life of a normal U.S. citizen. But during the Bush administration, expanded background checks revealed she had never been naturalized. Overnight, she was deported, despite decades of lawful presence. Despite no criminal record, despite being culturally American in every way, her constitutional rights evaporated. She couldn't work in the U.S. She couldn't legally re-enter. She couldn't access the country she grew up in. She became homeless in Mexico, vulnerable, exploited, addicted, used by cartels, sleeping in cheap hotels for a few hours at a time just to shower, hustling 18 to 20 hours a day to survive. Her story is not an isolated case. Legal scholars have documented hundreds of similar deportations of adoptees who were never properly naturalized. A failure of paperwork, not a failure of character. This is not what equal protection of the laws looks like. I lived in Tijuana for months. Yes, drugs are present. But drugs are present everywhere, in every race, every class, every country. The CDC reports over 100,000 overdose deaths per year in the U.S., and the majority involve synthetic opioids manufactured outside traditional immigration pathways. DEA reports show that most narcotics enter through official ports of entry, not through asylum seekers or undocumented migrants. So when political leaders claim immigrants are poisoning the blood of the country, that narrative is not supported by data. It's fear, it's scapegoating. When addiction affects white Americans, we talk about rehabilitation. When addiction affects brown immigrants, we talk about deportation. That is not justice. That is not equal protection. That is not America. Let's talk law, real law. 14th Amendment, Equal Protection Clause. All persons, not all citizens, not all documented individuals. All persons are entitled to equal protection of the laws. 5th Amendment, Due Process Clause. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Supreme Court precedent. Cases like Yick Wo versus Hopkins, 1896, and Plyler versus Doe, 1982, affirm that constitutional protections apply to non-citizens, including undocumented immigrants. Where ICE violates this, legal scholars have documented warrantless detentions, racial profiling, and deportations without proper hearings, even detaining U.S. citizens by mistake. Over 1,480 documented cases. These practices conflict with constitutional guarantees. When a president threatens to use the Insurrection Act against peaceful protesters, that raises serious constitutional concerns. As Jesse Ventura warned, "Cure history is repeating itself." Immigration policy should not be a tool for political theater or economic exploitation. When wealthy political families profit from war contracts and private detention centers, while young Americans bleed overseas, that is not patriotism. That is not leadership. That is not constitutional governance. Immigrants are not the enemy. They are part of the American story. Many immigrants start businesses, work in professional fields, and earn degrees at higher rates than native-born citizens in some demographics. They serve in the U.S. military, become doctors, lawyers, and community leaders. They are not here to take. They are here to contribute. I saw the best of humanity in Mexico. I saw the worst of policy in the United States. And I believe we can do better. Equal protection means everyone. Due process means everyone. Human dignity means everyone. If America is truly the land of the free, then freedom must apply to all who stand on its soil. Thank you for watching. I'm Jason R. Keaton. Stay constitutional.